So we made it to the entrance of Laguna Brava. It's turned into a bit of a dirt road here. It's very far down.
That's like a four-wheel drive, like a brutal descent, and it's all descent.
Like it's gonna be really tough at the end, and then imagine coming back up that. If it's all rubbly and whatever, we're gonna really struggle. It's about 9:15. Greg is just tightening his chain, and then we'll be ready to go.
We always say it's going to be like an early departure, and we've really learned better. And I'm a stress ball because there's a million roughly things to do, and Moxie's a stress ball probably because I'm a stress ball.
Yeah, I think so.
She's vomited this morning. She's had diarrhea, so we're all kind of a mess.
And now we realize that we're missing a mount for one of our GoPros. So he's inside looking to see if he can find that. And I think that will be actually the last thing. And then we can actually hit the road. We've got everything sorted here. The garden is being taken care of. The chicks, the new chicks, the turtles, the fish. Everybody is being taken care of. So hopefully when we come back, we're going to have a nice big harvest that we can take from the garden. And my little chicks that are now 4 weeks old will be nice and big.
So we are stopped here at the lookout on Mirador. You can see over Chichicastenango and Santa Cruz de Quiche. And that's all over here. It's really, really gorgeous. Coffee and a view. That's the plan. Alright, so one thing that we've learned is bringing water for Moxie. Don't do a bottle, but do a water bag. That way, as it gets used up, we're not carrying around this big empty bottle. So maybe that's obvious, and maybe that's like revelatory, but it was for us, and that's what we're doing. Are you ready to drink? Yes. She's giving me that look, like stop talking to the camera and let me drink water. There we go. Alright, lap it up. Lap it up. This is that mid time of day when Moxie is basically a dead dog. So nothing pleases her right now except for some shut-eye.
No.
She had a little bit of a scuffle for no good reason.
No.
With a mama bear that's over here. It's a mama bear. Moxie, leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Okay, unclench. Unclench. Everything's okay. Leave it. And so from here we continue on to Navajo, which is how far? Another hour and a half or so?
Yeah, it's the first time we're going there.
Made it up to our Casa de San Pablo, which seems to be like a missionary compound. That's got a kind of a questionable ring to it. I don't think it's quite like that, but there's a couple of cabañas there. It's a little bit of a hairy road, so I went up ahead to be the first one to crash and burn. Señores, ahí está. Pues, listo. Ahora vuelvo para la moto de mi esposa. A ella no le cae bien la subida. Hasta pronto. Big litro. Yeah, Moxie. Yeah. Or it never looks the same on video, so the slope here is, you know, a good 30-35 degrees, I think. It's got a little bit of rockiness in some spots.
Moxie's coming back.
Let's all just play.
Hold on.
Moxie, you're not being strangled, okay? Relax.
Okay, now go play. Let her do her thing.
So this is what a good mama bear Jess is. She's holding off this other dog to stop the play fighting long enough for Moxie to find a place to poop.
There we go. Look at it.
And then maybe Moxie can be a better version for a while. We've had some bad hucker luck on trips because it's gotten stolen before, and there are dogs here who will take notice of our beautiful hucker, and they will covet it, and they will want to take it from Moxie. But this is a beautiful place to huck, and I don't say that, you know, lightly.
Which way are you going?
We're gonna go this way because that is a dangerous dog. Go get it.
Oh.
And there we go. I think for tonight we'll have pasta here. We can do some cooking, and we're kind of in a nice spot, so we don't need to go into town for a restaurant or anything. And not a bad place to finish the first day of riding. Okay, so our beautiful cabana here turns out to be a bit of a killing field of wasps. Well, isn't that just unfucking pleasant? It's nature. There we go. Here's some more. Sweep them. Moxie doesn't give a shit.
You wanna like just smunch them all?
Schmunch them.
Those ones.
Schmunch isn't really a word. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So Greg just did a really awesome job riding down the that really tough patch, and now he's going back to get my bike, and he's left his here so that I can make sure that he can get down to the road easily. busy finding cats. Moxie's actually doing really well with the other dogs lately. There was that dog at the place we were just staying at, and she was playing with it. I think that gave her a good experience, and so she's more calm and exhausted. So it's been a busy morning so far, and we've got a long way to go. So hopefully everything works out smoothly. Greg gets my bike down here, and then we can start moving on.
The goal for today is to make it over to Laguna Brava, which is sort of a long sweep down and around and then back up. If we don't make it that far, fine. We'll stop somewhere around Nentón or something around there and find some place to wild camp or hotel or something. Better that we should enjoy and stop and see some sights along the way, enjoy some breaks and some play with Moxie. Gobble, gobble. Gobble, gobble. Yum, 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 yum,
It's
yum,
breakfast
yum,
at 12 o'clock.
So Il Pomodoro is a ristorante.
Yes.
And there's 3 of them in Huehue. They're sort of upperish crust. She's surprisingly calm and
like obsessed with something that's going on over there.
yeah, and non-confrontational in terms of trying to get at our food. Good for you, Moxie. Being tired suits you. This is a local watering hole along the river at Nentón for all the townspeople. And we thought maybe there was a chance there'd be a camping spot around here that we could occupy, but there really isn't anything flat here, and it's certainly not at all secluded. So we probably are just gonna dip our paws in the water and then carry on for a bit.
So we made it to the entrance of Laguna Brava. It's turned into a bit of a dirt road here, but everything worked out really well. It was about an hour away from Nentón. And so now we're here. Greg is over there talking to the caseta to talk about how to get transport to the actual Laguna. And then we will be hopefully picked up by a pickup is what I'm assuming, and head out there so that we can make camp and go and see the cenotes.
There's the parking area, which is not where we're going to camp.
No.
And then there's getting to the edge of the lake, the shore of the lake, and that's another 15 minutes. So, and that's apparently that's like a 4-wheel drive, like a brutal descent, and it's all descent. So it might just be smarter.
Gregory, nobody needs you to ride us down there.
My machismo is
Okay, so I made the executive decision that we're doing everything today. We are taking the pickup that's going to bring us down to the actual rim of the Laguna where we're going to camp. And so a pickup is going to take us and our stuff. We're going to drop our stuff. We're going to get a tour that takes us on like this lancha thing for 5 hours to go to 3 different cenotes that have all different colors, and there's a waterfall and whatever. So we're going to go and do everything today.
Yeah, and I'm sort of feeling it right here in the pit, right in the pit of my gut.
That there's a nice dirt road for Greg.
That we could get our bikes down to our, campsite, and there's our whole family. Our whole pack is there. This is a big 4-wheel drive, which hopefully, is just because of, comfort, as opposed to how bad the road is. But also, hopefully, because it's how bad the road is, because then I won't feel like I wussed out on riding down. Whatever. The point here is not to blast down the most gnarly dirt roads, even though sometimes that's where my head goes.
Well, this is very nice road, if you actually look at it. Yeah. This part is lovely. Moxie is much more of a moto dog than she's a car dog. I think she prefers being strapped in so that she can balance, because standing like this, it's just like she's always trying to get on top of our feet and trying to lay down.
Yeah, it's true. She really is much more acclimated to all this stuff on the bikes.
Yeah.
Especially this bumpy stuff.
Yeah. She doesn't know what to do with herself.
I feel a little the same way. I don't know what to do with myself right now. Just look at the scenery, I guess. I mean, I guess that's what you do when you're not riding.
You don't want to let the guy come up.
Let's just get at him right away. Just talk at him and get what I want. We've lost our dog. She's down there somewhere. She needs to put her paws and her tongue in the water. It's like a compulsion. She sees it and she's drawn to it.
We're getting ready to go. Our lancha is there. Our dog is here. Husband is here.
Come.
She's sitting like a human on the seat. She's sitting like a human on the seat. We are on a body of water being rowed to another body of water. Moxie is being a bit of a shit. She's slowly starting to calm down, but she does not love being far away from Papa Bear back there. And she sees the land, so she wants to get close. But she is calming down. She's doing well for the moment.
We've been rowing along now for about 20 minutes. He stopped once to wipe the sweat on his brow, so I'm impressed because I'd be puffing and puffing. I feel totally null, like useless. So there's not even a pair of oars if I wanted to be rowing. Not that I at all want to be rowing, but it seems, you know, wrong to just have him, look at him cranking away, and I'm just here with my, you know, twiddling my thumbs.
Yeah, cool her down. No, Moxie, wait.
Moxie.
Moxie, wait. So Greg is wearing his ARKADIA backpack, which is really awesome for things like this. We had it in the bike. It was like really tiny. It was like this big. You can take it out, and we were able to put all the stuff that we needed for this day trip in it. And it's cool because it's waterproof. So we were on the canoe that was, or the hand-powered lancha that was taking us across here to Laguna Brava cenotes, and we were able to have all of our stuff safely in there with our wallets and things like that. Everything was in there, and it just makes things a lot easier. Then you don't have to like carry around this whole big bag. This is small, it packs down really small, and has a nice big capacity. So I'm really glad that we decided to do the full tour. It allowed us to go and see all three cenotes, swim in the last one, which was awesome. It was like this transparent blue water. It was beautiful. It was a bit cool, but there were hot spots, so that was nice. And Moxie got to come in and swim with us, so that was lovely. And then on the way back, we stopped at this waterfall. The beautiful pasture leading up to it. And this waterfall sort of comes all the way down, and it leads into the laguna. It's absolutely lovely. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it up there. Well, Moxie couldn't make it up there, so I'm hanging out with her. And Greg is up there taking a look at the waterfall. So they're going off to find the other waterfall, and Moxie and I just came down a little bit, and we're going to wait for Papa Bear to come back with the guide. And then it's just a quick 15 probably minute paddle back to where our campsite is going to be for tonight. So we really loved that other spot there that had the cows and the pasture in between, and that valley between the mountains there where the waterfall is. And when we went over to see the waterfall, there were a bunch of people who were coming back, and they were all sort of rowdy and having a good time. And we had noticed when we first came into where the camping area was, there were a bunch of people who had their tents put up, and there were things like They had like a radio plugged in, there's a generator, and like we struggled to find a nice camping spot. And we finally did, that was decent, that had a tree and it was further away from them. But it was still near a generator, and we knew that there's going to be noise. There's a little restaurant thing there, so they're probably going to be drinking. So when we came back, when we were coming back, we sort of thought, well, why don't we see if they'll allow us to camp by the waterfall? So that's what we're going to do. And so we've got all of our stuff here in the lancha, and he's taking us back over. Poor guy's so tired. He's been hauling us there and back and there and back, but he did a great job.
We're waiting for the muchacho to come, who stays at this little house thing that's in there, which I guess, and then he'll have his own boat, and then he'll take us back in the morning. And so once he comes, then we can pay him to camp out here in this beautiful area. So we're just hanging out until then, you know, a few minutes, which means hooker time. Go get it. She is not a generous hucker. She wants to huck alone. By the way, you see those dirty paws? Those are going to be on your side of the tent this evening.
Well, I'm glad we're camping near the water so she can clean them off before she comes anywhere near us.
This is our little camping trick when there is, well, when Moxie doesn't need her water bowl, because obviously there's water, and when there is the possibility of ants around, which there are. So we fill her water bowl with water, and then we put her food bowl in it, and the ants will not swim across the moat to storm the castle and eat the kibble. And so it protects her food from the ants. Pretty cool. Feed. Feed, beasts, feed! Okay, so Moxie's been going crazy because there's horseflies around and she's getting bit. She keeps going batshit, and then she just runs off down here and just disappears for a while, and then realizes, I suppose, that they're just as bad down there. Yeah, everybody's getting them a bit, so we're gonna set up a fire here, and hopefully that is going to ease this problem a bit. Yep, there she goes. She just keeps running around in circles trying to escape them. She hasn't figured out that they're everywhere. She's gonna run herself out. I mean, she's just, there's only so much of her that's left. How much gas could she possibly have in the tank? I have created a chandelier. Look at that. That's 200 lumens of light right there. And Jess making some mosh there.
It's like an Indian garlic naan, so it's a flatbread. You are supposed to make it with Greek yogurt, which I again forgot to bring. So I improvised. So we're going to see how that turns out. And we're eating it with a spicy lentil soup, which has lentils, onions, tomatoes, potatoes, and then a bit of a broth. And Greg wanted his spicy, so for him I've got his extra spicy jalapeno here ready to put on at the end. Poor Moxie. She was being terrorized by those horseflies. Yeah, they were really bad. They were getting Greg and I too, so I completely understand her feelings. Thanks so much for watching this episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Greg gave some good tips during the episode, and I just wanted to recap them here in case you missed them. The first one was about carrying a water bag instead of a water bottle. The water bags are really good because as you start giving her water, the bags get smaller, so then there's less weight and space that it's taking up as you go along. The second one was about the moat. The moat is great for camping and good for even at home here. What we find when we go camping with Moxie is her kibble always gets infested by ants. And it really sucks because then if she doesn't finish her food, I can't just pour it back into her food bag because then everything just gets infested. But what Greg was talking about is having a moat. So what we do is we have two bowls, dog bowls. The first bowl has water in it and the second one has her food. And we place the food bowl in the water bowl. That way it creates a barrier so that the ants can't pass through and get into her food. That way we can save her food at the end and then she doesn't have all of these ants crawling around. So that one's really useful. And then the third one, you saw how Moxie was being really affected by all of those horseflies, which is completely understandable. I feel like dogs need a refuge at times too, and the tent can be a good place for that. So we always make sure that when we're at a place that we're going to be staying overnight, we put the tent up right away in case there's things like that, especially as the sunset comes. There's insects, there's mosquitoes, there's horseflies, there's things like that. And she just needs a place where if it gets to be too much, she can have a refuge. So we have the tent available for her, and we put her in there. She gets to lay down on her tender paw trekker bedroll, which we bring along with her, and she's just comfy there. And sometimes it's just for a few minutes, sometimes it's for an hour or so, and we leave the fly off so that she can see us through the mesh, so she knows that we're not going anywhere. Our next episode takes us from Laguna Brava, where we ended up, to Todos Santos, which is a really cool place. And it was the first time we had been there. And it's an amazing episode, so you guys have to watch it. So don't forget to subscribe to us here on YouTube and at GoRUFFLY for Facebook and Instagram. As for Moxie, she underwent her spinal stenosis surgery on Tuesday, and it went really well. The vets were really impressed that she's been recovering so quickly, so much so that they called us yesterday and told us that we could take her home tomorrow, which is like day 6, and she was supposed to be there for like 15 days. So this is absolutely amazing. So we're gonna take her home. She's gonna be on house arrest for the next like 6 weeks or so with really restricted activity, but at least she's gonna be here with us because we've really been missing her. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you soon.